It was December 7th, 1941, the day that Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, drawing the United States into World War II. Now, 83 years later, a Washington man has finally come home from that war. King 5's Eric Wilkinson is sharing his story.
I'm leaving for Honolulu November 29th. Don't know when I will get to the States again.
This letter to his parents is likely the last contact Ralph Keil ever had with his family as he prepared to ship off to Hawaii after enlisting in the U.S. Navy just prior to the attack on Pearl Harbor.
He and his best friend went down to Seattle and enlisted in the Navy. And I don't know why. Someday, if I'm lucky, I'll find out.
Keil was killed aboard the USS Oklahoma December 7, 1941. He graduated from Chimacum High School in Jefferson County on the Olympic Peninsula. He loved his high school sweetheart, Ginny, and by the age of 20, he'd already gotten a pilot's license. But Keil would never see his 21st birthday.
It had a ripple effect all through the family. Certainly his parents never were the same after that.
Keil's remains went unidentified for 78 years. His parents died never knowing what ultimately became of their son. 2 agonizing months after Pearl Harbor, Keil's father wrote this letter to the Navy asking about his son's condition.
I would like to know if he has been located and safe, or if he has been wounded. I would sure like to know.
For nearly 80 years, there were no answers. Kathy Keil Crozier, Keil's cousin and last remaining next of kin, had been working for nearly 2 decades to fulfill Keil's parents' wishes. When out of nowhere, she was notified her loved one had finally been identified. DNA testing confirming remains recovered from the Oklahoma were Keil's.
Did you ever think that you'd live to see this day?
I hoped, but I never had any assurance that we would. I didn't know.
Now, 83 years after his death, Ralph Henry Keil is laid to rest at Tahoma National Cemetery. Kathy says she chose September 11th to connect the 2 darkest days in American history and to honor all of the everyday guys who paid the ultimate price in service to this country. Kathy calls her cousin an everyman.
You look at the military and you look who our enlisted men are. That's who they are. And so I want to honor him, and I want to honor what he represents.
Run up!
A loved one lost, finally finding his way home.
Run up!
At Tahoma National Cemetery, Eric Wilkinson, King 5 News.